Everyone loves an underdog story. But nobody talks about what actually happens when the underdog refuses to quit. It's not inspirational, it's not pretty, it's brutal. It's watching someone get knocked down over and over while everyone else says just give up. But here's what nobody sees. Every time they get back up, something changes. Not in the game, in them. The underdog doesn't start with an advantage. They start behind, way behind. Less talent, less experience, less resources, less support. The odds aren't just against them. The odds are laughing at them. Everyone watching knows how this ends. Everyone except the underdog. Because here's the thing about being the underdog. You have nothing to lose. When nobody expects you to win, every point you score feels like a victory. Every round you survive is proof you belong. The pressure that crushes favorites, it doesn't touch you. You're already supposed to lose. But refusing to quit does something that talent can't buy. It builds a different kind of strength, the kind that doesn't show up on a stat sheet, the kind that doesn't make highlight reels. It's the strength that comes from getting knocked down and choosing to stand back up when your body is begging you to stay down. Think about what happens in those moments. The crowd goes quiet, your opponent gets comfortable, they think it's over. They start playing loose, waiting for you to fold. And that's when something shifts. Not because you suddenly got better, not because you found some hidden reserve of talent, but because you made a choice that most people never make. You decided that losing on your feet is better than quitting on your knees. This is where the real game begins. Not on the scoreboard, in the mind. The underdog who refuses to quit is playing a completely different game than everyone else. They're not trying to be perfect. They're not trying to look good. They're not trying to meet expectations. They're just trying to last one more minute, score one more point, survive one more round. And here's what's crazy. That mentality becomes contagious. The opponent starts to feel it. They see someone who won't go away, someone who keeps coming no matter how many times they get hit, and doubt creeps in. Not in the underdog, in the favorite. Because favorites are used to people folding. They're used to their reputation doing half the work. But when someone refuses to be intimidated, refuses to accept their role, refuses to play the script everyone else wrote, the favorite starts to think. And thinking is the enemy of performance. Meanwhile, the underdog is getting stronger, not physically, mentally. Every time they survive another exchange, they prove to themselves they can hang. Every time they score, they prove they belong. Every minute that passes, the gap between underdog and favorite shrinks. Not because the underdog is getting better in real time, but because belief is building. And belief is the most dangerous weapon in sports. The underdog who refuses to quit isn't hoping for a miracle. They're creating one, brick by brick, play by play, possession by possession. They're rewriting the story everyone thought was already written. And the beautiful thing? They don't need to dominate. They just need to stay in it. Because the longer they survive, the more the pressure shifts. Now the favorite is the one feeling the heat. Now the favorite is the one answering questions. How are they not winning yet? Why is this taking so long? What if they actually lose? And that's when favorites crack. Not because they're weak, but because the weight of expectation is heavier than any underdog will ever carry. This is the part that movies get wrong. They show the underdog winning in some dramatic final second miracle. But the real magic isn't in the ending. It's in the middle. It's in the rounds, where the underdog is getting beat up, but won't stay down. It's in the moments where quitting makes sense, but they keep going anyway. Because here's what happens when an underdog refuses to quit. They don't just change the outcome of the game. They change what's possible. They prove that heart can compete with talent, that will can match skill, that refusing to accept defeat is itself a form of victory. And the scariest part for anyone standing across from an underdog who won't quit. They know that person has already won something bigger than the game. They've won the fight against themselves, and someone who's beaten their own doubt